White people deserve a home.
It is a great day to be an Australian. Thomas Sewell was just arrested outside of the Magistrates Court for attacking Indigenous people on August 31st, and it's absolutely fitting. That kind of Nazi shit is not welcome here in Australia. You fuck around, you'll get arrested.
Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. To my returning subscribers, those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVPs. So lovelies, I came across this video and I thought to share where the neo-Nazis leader who actually attacked the Indigenous protest site has now been arrested. He goes as far as to, show his strong-headed behavior and his supremacy on how he actually wants Australia to be a white country, even if it's not. But the thing is that a petition has been, written against him to be deported back to New Zealand, and I was able to put out some of those stitches. I'm just going to roll the clip as well as the stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video, and let's dive into it.
White people deserve a home. There's 1.4 billion Chinamen, there's 1.4 billion Indians, there's a billion Africans, there's a billion Arabs, and they've all got their own countries. Now if there was a white country on earth, I don't want to leave Australia, but if you said to me, Tom, why don't you go live in Poland or Lithuania or Latvia or whatever, I would say, look, it's tempting, but I love Australia. It is tempting because I don't like what's happening to this country. I think white people deserve a home collectively. They have a home. We don't have one. We're being told that Australia is for everyone, and if it's for everyone, then it's for no one. That's my position. And second to that, collectively, is individually. I individually cannot afford a home. My father bought a home on 3 years' wages. I could not even buy a 200 square meter block of dirt in Tarneit for 3 years' wages. So because of the conditions the government has put our generation through, I and the people younger than me are getting locked out of the market. And when we do afford a home, I take my child to the playground, Sam. And every single other child at the playground is speaking a foreign language to their parents. My child is the only child at the playground that's speaking English. And I'm surrounded by people that are being told, oh, this is a great multicultural diversity. And it just means less white people, less white culture. And ultimately, we're going to turn into global South Africa. And I will fight to stop that from happening, Sam. I don't want us to turn into South Africa. I had family in Rhodesia. I had family in South Africa. I'm not letting it happen here. And so I'm trying with all my might to be peaceful and reasonable and political. But we have to protect white Australia. We have to.
Many things he said are wrong. The privilege which is coming out of him, the entitlement to think that we have to protect white Australia. In other words, we have to protect what wasn't rightfully ours, but now we are part of this land, and we don't want anyone else who doesn't look like us to be here. Because when my kid goes around, when my kid goes somewhere, they have to speak another language, and I don't want that. I want them to only speak English. English is the only language, and I want people to look like me. If you don't look like me, guess what? You're not part of us. You're a second-class citizen. You know what? And you should understand, because we were here first. Well, not first, but we were here second. And because we were here second, that means we have a stronger say, because we have more power and authority now, because there's more of us. And so we got to protect what we have. You see what happened to the other people, right? You see what happened to the other people when they didn't protect their borders, even though it was taken from a colonizing standpoint. Even though they're illegal immigrants, or immigrants want to come in legally to the best of their ability, fleeing war-torn nation? No, that's not enough. They aren't allowed to come here. He should be saying he wants to protect all Australians, but he says white Australia. People who look like me need a place to have, which is their home. And anyone who doesn't look like me, I'm not looking out for their well-being, because it's not Australia inclusive and everyone. It's me and people who look like me. I don't want to walk around this place looking at people and seeing other skin colors and other skin tones, and let alone speaking other languages. So you guys, you guys, get out, all right? And I'm going to fight tooth and nail, because I don't want it to be like South Africa. You see what happened there? They had a position of power, and guess what? Then they let up. And the black people, who the land was rightfully theirs, now they're taking it back. Well, I'm not going to make the same mistake. He made a threat. People are going to be like, oh, it's free speech. He's speaking his mind. Ugh. He made a low-key threat. He's basically saying, I'm being calm and you're pushing me to the limit because my rights and what I want in my heart for people who look like me is more important than the immigrants, more important than people who don't look like me because this is ours, even though it was taken. And I'm trying to be political, even though I'm going to have my agenda regardless, but I'll cross the line. And we have crossed the line before. We have crossed the line to take. That's why we're here. That's why we have this business. And we're going to fight and cross the line to keep. That's what I heard. What did you hear?
It is a great day to be an Australian. Thomas Sewell was just arrested outside of the Magistrates Court for attacking Indigenous people on August 31st, and it's absolutely fitting. That kind of Nazi shit is not welcome here in Australia. You fuck around, you'll get arrested. He caused a lot of harm, division, and stress to just the normal general public. We Australians, we love our diversity. It's what makes us stronger. We're a nation of immigrants. If you're not Indigenous, you're an immigrant. And we all belong here. None of this white supremacist shit. I'm just so proud to be an Australian. Like, we act fast. None of this beating around the bush. Anyway, fingers crossed, it sticks and he goes away for a long, long time, or he's deported back to New Zealand. I'm sorry, New Zealand, but you're going to have to take care of this trash. It is a great day to be an Australian. Thomas Sewell.
Your behaviours in relation to...
No, because I'm not a slave. Because I'm a free man. I'm an Anglo-Saxon. And no matter how much they persecute us, we're going to continue to put forward our political rights. And if that means that they have to put us in jail, if that means they're gonna, our homes have been firebombed, we've been on the receiving end of harassment from the police, from media, from communists, from the government. It's non-stop. But
I haven't committed a crime.
You should have come.
I haven't committed a crime.
When we
Don't
asked.
angle off on me.
Anything in your pockets there?
Tom, stop being aggressive, mate.
You're trespassing on this
No,
property.
no,
Yes, you
no.
are. You're
Legal
trespassing.
right to be here.
No, you don't. You have no legal right to be here. You're trespassing on this property.
Are we arresting him now?
Yeah, Thomas, you need to come with us, mate.
Am I under arrest?
Yes, you are.
Okay, there we go. We're under arrest. You didn't say that before, did you?
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
You're under arrest for fraud. You do not have to say anything. Anything you just do will be given evidence. You understand that?
Okay.
You understand that? That you don't have to say anything?
Okay.
You have rights. You have the right to communicate with, intend to communicate with the practitioner. You have the right to communicate with or friend or relative who that not be right. You understand those rights? You wish to exercise any of those rights.
That's fine, Thomas.
I am under arrest for defending myself.
We're getting your side of the story, Thomas.
A petition to kick neo-Nazi Thomas Sewell out of Australia has more than 80,000 signatures and counting. The New Zealand-born extremist will spend at least 2 more nights behind bars over accusations of a violent ambush on an Indigenous camp.
Back in court and fighting for his freedom, Thomas Sewell is tonight behind bars over this ambush on Sunday. The neo-Nazi is accused of instructing his followers to attack a sacred Indigenous site after an anti-immigration protest in the city.
Look at him, how proud he is. Look at him. Look at him.
The 32-year-old white supremacist has barged his way further into the spotlight in recent days, gate-crashing the Premier's news conference yesterday.
Shouldn't we have the right to speak in our country, you coward?
It's appalling. It's childish. It's attention-seeking. It's pointless.
The unemployed father faces a raft of charges, including violent disorder, affray and unlawful assault relating to Sunday's attack. Police opposed Sewell's bail application today, arguing his behaviour is becoming increasingly violent, telling the court there is a real or likely risk of serious injury or death to those who oppose him. The court heard Sewell and his wife had been evicted from their home and were holidaying in a camper van in Queensland. His lawyer argued the far-right extremist needs bail to drive his family back to Victoria. More than 60,000 have signed a petition calling for the New Zealand-born extremist to be deported.
Go back to whatever country you were born in, which is New Zealand.
Sewell will learn on Friday if he will be released from custody.
Okay, remember those anti-immigration kind of riots and stuff in Australia. So now everybody's coming out from the videos and they're talking about like how this First Nations camp was taking place, and these neo-Nazis all dressed in black basically went up there and started beating them with like sticks and flag poles and stuff like that, like literally beating the crap out of these people. So everyone was really stunned that was happening, and that they're literal neo-Nazis just walking around down the street. So everybody's talking about this. The Prime Minister is talking about this, and the ringleader of this group is a guy from New Zealand, which is pretty crazy that, you know, you're anti-immigrant, yet you're not even Australian. You're from New Zealand. So basically, that ringleader guy has been arrested and he's in court, and now there's a petition to have him deported back to New Zealand. And there's 70,000 signatures already. So regular people in Australia don't want them there. So it must be really embarrassing, actually, if you're just a regular person trying to live your life in Australia. So hopefully they stay in jail. But I think that what's going to happen is they're not going to be able to get rid of his citizenship, because I think he's got dual citizenship in like New Zealand and Australia, and it's super hard to change citizenship, to like strip somebody or revoke their citizenship in Australia. Like I said, tons of people are calling for him to be deported, just to kick him out of the country altogether.
This is Australia's leading neo-Nazi, and unfortunately he's a New Zealander. Thousands of Australians have now asked for him to be deported. So let's talk about Thomas Sowell, his group, and what he's been up to. Sowell is a New Zealander, but he spent much of his life in Australia. He dropped out of university and spent 2 years in the army, never serving overseas, so he's certainly not the kind of war hero he makes himself out to be. In 2017, he tried to recruit the Christchurch shooter into his group, the Lad Society, which became this, one of Australia's most prominent Nazi groups. It's not just Jews and migrants they target, they cover the full spectrum just like the real guys back from Germany in the 1930s. Not only are they anti-Semites and anti-migration, they've been heavily involved in the anti-trans protests recently. And these degenerates aren't all talk. Their leader has quite the record. In 2021, he attacked a security guard working at a television office. And in 2023, he got a prison sentence for attacking some hikers. Most recently, he's been arrested for this, leading an attack on Camp Sovereignty. This attack resulted in 2 people being hospitalised after his group beat people with batons. And to our collective great shame, he was originally from here. Little by little, we're seeing groups led by people like him attach themselves to more mainstream movements. And it's been absolutely shocking to see how many rally attendees were okay with people like this being there. On behalf of Aotearoa, we would not like this man back. Perhaps he best apply for a white victim visa in the United States.
Today I am again ashamed of my white skin. 2 days ago, we witnessed something that should shake us all to our very core. Just across the ditch from us here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, in Melbourne, Australia, a group of neo-Nazi fascists led by a man from New Zealand, cowards dressed in black, marched up to Camp Sovereignty, a sacred Indigenous burial site, and attacked Aboriginal people, women, elders. I'll say that again. Women, elders, people holding healing ceremonies to honor their ancestors. They stomped on the Aboriginal flag, and they brought violence to a place of peace. Let me tell you what I see when I look at these attackers. I see fear. They fear their own ordinariness. For generations, they were handed opportunities simply for being white and male. But that's changing, and it terrifies them. They fear that when the playing field becomes even slightly more level, they can't compete, that immigrants and people of color will outwork them, outthink them, and excel beyond them, that women who now make up more than 60% of university graduates and 53% of PhD graduates, will leave them behind. To them, equality feels like oppression because they've hardly had to work for what they have. But here's what racism actually costs us. It robs us of a richness of human experience, the haunting beauty of First Nations songlines that carry 65,000 years of wisdom, the power of the Maori haka that moves souls across this planet, the healing traditions of Asian medicine, the rhythms of African drums that birth music genres and can break your heart open with joy, dances of Latin America that celebrate life, the storytelling of Arab cultures that give us algebra and astronomy, not to mention cuisine. Who wants to live on stale fish and chips for the rest of their lives? When we close our doors to others, we deprive our lives of so much wonder, joy, and connection, and instead we cage ourselves in a world of loneliness and despair. I know which I'd rather choose. They say the problem in Australia is immigrants, and they clearly haven't checked the immigration statistics because immigration is on the decline. But who are the immigrants, since we're talking about them? On this side of the globe, there are doctors, there are nurses, our psychiatrists, our psychologists, our healthcare workers, the people that kept us alive during the COVID pandemic. There are teachers educating our children, engineers building our future, small business owners building our economy and creating jobs. They're selling us affordable fruits and vegetables at prices we can afford because the supermarket conglomerates are price fixing and making it impossible for people to live. So to the men, and I hesitate to use that word when it comes to you, who attacked Camp Sovereignty, you and all the people that marched alongside you on the 31st of August have revealed themselves not as protectors of anything sacred, but as destroyers. You attacked, violently kicked women and elders at a burial site, showing us exactly who you are. But here's what you don't understand. You can't stop progress. You can't silence truth. You can't break sovereignty. You are. But here's what you don't understand. You can't stop progress. You can't silence truth. You can't break sovereignty that has lasted over 65,000 years. Every flag you stomp will rise higher. Every person you attack becomes a symbol. Every act of your hate creates 1,000 acts of love. Immigrants, people of color, women are not your enemy. We are your tomorrow, and tomorrow always comes. Today I am again
Lovelies. First of all, how sickening is this? Indigenous people were peacefully protesting, standing up for their rights. And this man thought it was okay to show up with HATE and violent. He's so disgusting. But the thing is that he's been arrested and the people aren't staying quiet. Thousands are signing a petition to send him back to New Zealand, where he actually belongs. Though he was said to come from South Africa, but he was better than New Zealand. So I actually think that's the reason why they're going to send him back to New Zealand, although this petition has been going left, right, and center. And honestly, I agree. Australia does not need that type of extremist But here's a bigger issue. Why are indigenous communists still being targeted like this in 2025? You know, when I keep on telling people that people that looks like me all over the world are being treated in some same way, it's all going to take resilience and try to fight back. That's the only way where people that looks like me can actually be free from the whole world. Like, people that looks like me are just I don't just know. Sometimes I ask my you know grandparents, and like, why is it that people that looks like me, especially if you're someone melanated, anywhere you go, they always want to fight you. They always want to say that you are the problem. They always have issues with you. Like, these said indigenous people are the real owners, are the real people of the land. But this man want to make it a white country, even if when this is not a white country. Like, so many people from Australia was like, every other person are immigrants. Every other person are immigrant. But the only people who have the right to like tell someone to go back to the country are just the original people, the real owners of New Zealand, which happens to be people that look like me, or people that have my complexion. Like, seriously, this is just getting too much. It is getting too much. And in 2025, where I believe that the world is developing, the world is exposed, at least rape and incest should be something that is reduced. Even this man himself, he is talking about how he's so angry that his daughter have to, or his children have to mingle and speak some type of some type of language that he's not approved of. Like, if you're so upset to that point, why not just go back to your country? Like, I believe that most of these people who actually invaded people's land all came from Europe, right? Because I was going through my For You page, and somebody was like, the same way people that looks like they actually came from somewhere, that is the same way they feel that most of these people actually came from Europe. And then again, I asked the question, what if there are actually black people who are the original owners of the land in Europe? If people that look like me are actually the first people that ever existed in the planet Earth, you know that black people travel, like brown millennials people, they travel a lot. You can find them anywhere in the whole world. We might not be shocked that there is some group of original or people that actually settled somewhere in Europe. Nobody can be sure about that, but let's just progress. I'm so happy to the fact that this man is getting exactly what he has been craving for. You can't go to a country where you are not the original owner of the land, then want to claim it and want to make it your own, land. He's there trying to, get people out of the country, even when him himself is an immigrant. Like, how ironical is that? Like, seriously. Anyways, racism tries to silence them. This is why they can't stay silent. I really commend these people for not staying, silent, and not wanting people that looks like this man to come in between. Anyways, I think that is good. They are gonna deport him. Let them just deport him. But let's also make sure we are protecting indigenous people and holding this hate group accountable, because this isn't just about one man. It's about system that keeps giving people like him the courage to attack others. That's just the real fight. Anyways, lovelies, what do you think about this? Should he be deported back to New Zealand, or should he face hardship, this kind of harsh punishment in Australia? Drop your thought in the comment section. I really want to hear what you have to say. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more reactions, and I will see you in the next your one. thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. Please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. So please share this video, subscribe, leave a thought, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one.